Lower quality. Okay, good morning, hello, and welcome to Tap In with Michelle. Today we are bringing in, or we're featuring my beautiful friend, lady, mentor, and just a beautiful all round soul, Earth Angel Tracey. So first of all, before I jump in and talk a little bit about Tracy, I just wanted to say thank you and welcome back to the listeners. And for those that are jumping on, welcome. And thank you for listening to the podcast. And over the next few months, I'm going to be doing a series of mediums and just people in their special field, whether it's health, spiritual, wellness, whatever the case may be. But this is about keeping it real, and things may trigger you, things may pop up, you may get insight, you may get inspo. So just wanted to just say thank you, thank you, thank you, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. So today I'm joined by Earth Angel Tracey. Tracey is an Australian spiritual life purpose practitioner, intuitive mentor, teacher, and visionary entrepreneur devoted to helping others navigate spiritual awakening, healing, empowerment, and authentic soul alignment. Combining decades of life experience with intuitive guide, Tracey supports people through periods of transformation, self-discovery, and reconnecting with their highest purpose. Her work blends spirituality with grounded wisdom through tarot, astrology, numerology, human design, energy guidance, and soul-led mentor. How good is this woman? She's also the creator of the Divine Light Legacy Directory and Academy Hub, a platform designed to connect huddled practitioners, healers, educators, and conscious communities together in one empowering space. Welcome, Tracey. Woo-hoo!
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. Nice to be on.
And I suppose we're going to go straight into this podcast, and I've got a few questions to ask. And just for the people that are listening out there, Tracey and I haven't spoken about these questions. These are going to be intuitively guided. So whatever comes through today for Tracey is going to be new for me, but a message for you, the listeners, and for the subscribers that are watching this today. Whether you're watching in a month, 6 months, but whatever the case is, just knowing that Trace is intuitively guided to give you a message or an insight or whatever she brings to this podcast today. So I suppose the question a lot of people are asking at the moment, and they're feeling the shift right now, personally, spiritually, and even globally. From your perspective, Trace, what's happening in our world right now, and where do you feel we're heading?
Well, we are in North Node of Aquarius, so I'll start with astrology just to give you some foundation on understanding our timeline. The timeline is all those that are impacted by Aquarius in Pluto. It impacts the entire planet, every living being on the planet, and the reason is because it's time to change, and the changes are coming right up until the year 2044. That's astronomy and astrology. Those that are most impacted, ones that are spiritually awakening, and meant to awaken. Those that aren't impacted are the ones that will not be awakening. So those of us that are awakening or awoken, we are on a trajectory of change. Change is global. Change is impacting on Mother Earth. We are shifting dimensions, we are shifting ascension and frequency and vibration. The reason why is because we can no longer stay stagnant on this earth and out of alignment. So, how does that impact on us as human beings on this planet? In lots of different ways. So destruction has to come into play first. And those of us that are awoken and ascending in a higher frequency are excited about this. We see the utmost highest of potential. So we have no fear. we are embracing the change. Change must happen. Uh, we have been on a destructive mode for a very long time on this planet, and we have wounded Mother Earth, we have wounded animals, we have wounded humanity and our, wildlife, everything living on this planet is in wounding mode. So in order for us to clear that energy and ascend to a higher dimension and frequency, it's important the destruction takes place. So it's just about watching it happen and embracing the change for the highest good.
So, in saying that, if somebody is waking up for the first time or they're starting to look at life differently, what would you what would you suggest, or what would you encourage? Because there's a lot of fear going on, and because the fear is, let's say, getting shaken in the collective, in the global, this fear is starting to break apart. But before the the collective or the globe moves into this 5D and beyond, a lot of us have, well, I should say a lot of people in general have got to move through this fear. So for somebody that is just is in overwhelm or just going, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is going on? I don't understand. Especially for people that have been hanging on to a lot of old beliefs, what what would you what would you suggest something that could be simple for them?
Okay, so I think the most important thing is to understand the first few signs. And at the time we're experiencing it, and I've been there, so I know. It's the foundations that get ripped. So the relationships, the networks, foundations of your income, your career, everything you've built and you thought you built strongly, um, starts to show the cracks. So anything built on sand is going to fall. And at the time we entered into those relationships, that career, whatever the case may be, it was part of the journey in which we had to experience. So we're all soul contracts are here to experience certain things. Now, as we are awakening, those things are no longer part of our destiny and moving forward. And most of us are holding on the grim debt to what we thought was a stable, strong foundation for us, which gives us that false sense of security. In actual fact, it's the complete opposite that we need to be doing. And it's that who gives a fuck attitude that I used to envy in so many other people in my life that I never had, that I now actually am really aligned with, because it's letting go. It's letting go. And I have always been a very controlling person of myself, of my life, and my direction. I've been a planner, and I see this a lot with other people as well. So it's that false sense of security that we've had that rocks our foundation and gives us that, oh my God, I'm losing my mind. I'm losing control. I need to see a psychologist. I need to seek therapy. And this is a big part of the problem. It's what I'm seeing in a lot of the community posts, is that people are going to seeking support. Unfortunately, majority of the support that they're seeking is providing band-aid effects. And so really it's being universe and our spiritual team and our higher selves is calling us. It's time to go within. It's time to really eradicate everything of no importance from your life and from your thoughts and from your energy field, and just go within. Align with what feels good for you. as soon as you start making those small little steps and that decision to work on yourself, to understand why that person no longer aligns with you is part of your development and your ascension. When we start to apply band-aids or medication, whatever the case may be, it actually slows the process down. And it puts us in disharmony and imbalancement with our energy, our thoughts, our emotions, because we're not going deep and feeling through those. And so I guess really understanding that the first thing all men and women need to be very much mindful of is to ask for help. It's important to ask for help. It's important to speak freely and to share what they're experiencing, even if it is anonymously in community posts, because it gives us the opportunity as holistic practitioners to come through and say, hey, have you considered this option? Let me tell you personally, a lot of my services, majority of my services, I do for free. I am not about money. I'm not about fame and fortune. I'm not about the exposure of anything. I just want to be able to provide guidance to those that seek it for all the right reasons, and that is about uniting as one and sending together, because that ripple effect impacts on others. And so for those that can't afford services, and that's why they take the path of GP referrals to psychiatrists and psychologists and things like that. If the psychologists themselves hasn't gone through their awakening and adapted different modalities in the way they connect with their clients, it leads to a slower process. They'll get there eventually if they're meant to, but it is a process. Whereas if you come in with a holistic practitioner and we work with you in the way of, okay, let's help you go deep within, let's guide you in a safe space for you to be able to feel and connect to who you're really meant to be here and you are here to achieve, accomplish, and help others with, the process is easier.
And I think that's a really beautiful word in what you said. You said safe space. So a lot of people, they're coming into communities and looking for, as they're working through their awakening, they're coming back into their heart space and wanting to understand themselves a lot more, because you that's exactly right. The control issue, the veil has been lifted, and even though we're looking at, things are going to be changing from 28 to I think 2030, it's time for us as humans to trust ourselves. And because we haven't had that, whatever you want to call it, whether it's that growing up or how we grew up, or it had to be this way or it had to be that way, it's a whole new structure. And the more that we can strip this down and come back into our heart space and come back into people like talking to you, Tracey, or talking to me, or talking to their community, or talking to like-minded people in their community that will help them with the acceleration process.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so I suppose another question that I'd love for you to tap into now is, you often speak about working closely with your spirits and guides, and who are the main guides or the energies you work with, and are there certain beings who are constantly around you?
Oh, okay. So initially, it was Angel Freya who made herself known as an orb, and then showed herself um, in her highest being. Since then, depending on what frequency I'm elevating or fluctuating between, I get lots of different energies come through. And so I have four main spirit guides who are always with me. I have Angel Freya, who comes spasmodically. She usually is the one sending through people to connect with me, so that she's guiding those that align with me or require my services and support. I have passed over loved ones that comes through and are around me all the time. I once did a reading for a woman, and when she was watching my video, it actually activated her, and she could see all the other beings around me, and she was like asking, this person looks like this and that person looks like that, and I could identify who they were and that she was seeing. So that was a really beautiful moment for us both to experience. And yeah, so I have lots. I have ascended masters that come through. I am part of a twin flame, and whilst the label is not something I like to really dive deep in, purely because everything gets monetarized, and it is sad to see, even in our spiritual community, there's people that are just focused on the financial side of growth and the fame of everything. And for me, that twin flame journey has really ignited me and woken me up to evolve at a more rapid pace. I guess that's because it's happened to me later in life. But I also have ascended masters, which is Saint Germain and Lady Portia, who comes through with the twin flame energy. So they're twin flames, and Yeshua and Mary were also twin flames. So they also bring through a lot of twin flame connections into my energy field, and I do charting and reading for them. It's usually divine feminine that is attracted to my energy or guided to me, and I actually have quite a growing community of twin flames now, right across the world, which is really beautiful and amazing. And we connect together and we share what we're experiencing as we're experiencing them, and we are all on par. So that that knowing alone is comforting, because we're not so alone, and that has been a really big trajectory jump for me in the way of my ascension and my confidence in being able to say, I know. I've always had this knowing, and I used to really loathe hearing myself say, I know, because it came across like I was arrogant, but I actually have this knowing, and I am now embracing the fact that I know. So that in itself is something that is massive for me, to be able to step out and say, when I don't know, I actually don't know. I'm happy to look into that and research it thoroughly so that I can come back with an answer and supporting evidence. But yeah, I have lots. I have, when I do readings, I connect through my higher self to the person that I'm reading's higher self. So majority of my readings, I don't actually have a live interaction with the client, because I don't need it. I actually prefer not to, and I can explain why. Because most people come in with an intention of wanting to know specific things, because they're fixated on what they think is important in their life, and they wanting to know these things. Problem with that is it actually holds your energy stagnant and in that lower frequency, because you're in need, and it's not about the growth. And so my readings are very different to most other readers, because my connection is to their higher self. And that higher self is going to tell me exactly what they need to hear, whether they like it or not. So sometimes the truth can be quite confronting. And the evidence that they show me, and, I get smells, tastes, visions, all different sorts of signs. They may show me an experience that I've had that I will then share with those that I'm reading for, and then that is what impacts on them, because they can align with that. So by doing the readings, I've had people walk away going, that wasn't what I was expecting. I do give people the opportunity to give 3 questions, because if they do specifically want to know something, then I want that to be included in the answer. So 99% of the time, the answers come through the reading. And then at the end of the last 10 minutes of the reading, I actually look at the questions and say, okay, did we answer those questions? And then if we haven't, I will ask specifically. But majority of the time, it comes out through the reading regardless. And I go, okay, yep, we already addressed those. They knew what you wanted, but we've given you a lot more. Now, my readings also my activations. So, like I said earlier, with one of the particular women that I read from, which she hadn't had visions before, and then all of a sudden she was like, I'm seeing all these beings around you, and they're not human. There's lots of them, and I don't know what I'm seeing, but I'm seeing these. And so that was like her activation. And that was after I had video recorded and sent her that video. So she wasn't actually live with me. And so these are the things that I'm here to do, is to ignite awakenings within people. I'm also a mirror. So, if there's something that is impacting on the person, I'm a reflection of them with them. It's about navigating around how to accomplish and achieve a higher understanding of that situation. So I'm being very vague about things, but yeah, there is so many different beings that come through, and it is more in alignment with who I'm reading for. So my own team are here to guide me and bring clients into me, and to help, me navigate with my community. But then when I'm connecting to the person that I'm reading for, it's their team, it's their loved ones coming through. It's whoever is around them and other beings, or, past life experiences, other planetary beings that come through that are from their higher perspective. So their soul family is quite big, just like mine is. And whoever comes through with the most important messages will come through. So just channel them to.
That's beautiful. And there was a few names that you mentioned. And I think as this series continues, we may be able to tap in with Archangel Claire. I think you mentioned Archangel. There was 2 others. And
The
we
Saint
Saint
Germain
Germain
and Lady Portia.
and Lady Portia, and also the twin flame. So for those that are, because twin flame used to be quite widely spread, or used to be, oh, you're my twin flame, or whatever they used to think, but now it's a little bit different. So we may be able to go into a conversation in later over the next few months and actually just tap straight into twin flames. What does that mean? How does that look like? And what is that actually showing you? And with your angels that you work with, I'm really interested in how you connected with them, how they just showed up in your life, because I think for every one of us that does have that higher vibration or speak with that higher dimension, we've all had that experience that they've come into our life for that reason. So I work with Archangel Michael, and he's with me every single day, and I just connect with him. I'm starting now to connect with Metatron, and it was just one of those random situations I was in one day and I saw him, and now I work with him every day. So I suppose the question I'm asking you, Trace, is what experience were you going through, or what season, or what were you going through for these beautiful angelic beings to be in your life now?
Okay, there was nothing beautiful about what I was going through. I was actually in preparation of ending my life. And I had a plan. I executed my plan, and the morning of um, the day in which I had chosen to exit the earth, I set my alarm to wake me up, and I had all my medication that I knew would serve the purpose beside my bed with a big bottle of water, and my alarm went off. I woke up. I shimmied myself sitting up in my bed, and I noticed a very unusual orb about that big in
Yeah.
my room, and it was like a golden orangey sort of color. And I remember wiping my face, thinking, "What is that?" and trying to focus on it. Um, Put my glasses on and really tried to zone in on it, and then I just began talking to it and saying, "Please show yourself. What are you? You show yourself." Eventually, it grew bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then all of a sudden, it was from the roof to the floor and showed herself. Um, and then once I actually saw her, and um, telepathically, she was talking to me. She was explaining that I'm here for a reason, and that I'm not to take that action. And I was in a lot of pain. I had a broken back, in fact, so I had already got to the point where um, I had minimal feeling from the waist down and loss of my legs, and it was constant pain. I was living on endo, and I was having popping pills with my center. I was having um, staff coming to help me with, OT and nursing and bathing and everything like that. And I felt like a burden to myself, to society, to my family. And so I was cashed up and organized with my will and all my personal belongings. I'd sorted everything out for my children and grandchildren, and I was prepared. I was at peace with leaving. Unfortunately, at the time, I wasn't aware that I was here on specific missions, and in fact, my destiny has already been written, and it is not to be uh, deviated off path. So yeah, it was a shock. She said to me, "Get up and bear weight," which I was profoundly freaking out, to be quite honest, because I couldn't bear weight on my own without my walking frame or whatever. And I did. Eventually I bared weight. I stood up. I had no pain. I had the longest 2 hour, I think, shower on the phone for the first time, and was able to wash my hair and cried my heart out, just absolutely cried my heart out. And then my nurse arrived at 7:30 in the morning, and she was beside herself with absolute shock when she came in and saw me in the shower. She actually, opened the shower door going, "What is going on?" And we had this big hug. She's fully clothed. I'm completely wet and naked. And we had this big hug. And I just told her what happened to me, And as crazy as it sounds, that's the truth. And yeah, it's been a very rapid journey since then. And that's when things started to happen. So I was able to see again and hear and feel and connect again. It was like an ignition of activation within me that I had as a child. I used to see dead people as a child, although most of the time I didn't know they were dead, and I didn't understand how I could be speaking to somebody that looked like a human being and then all of a sudden they're gone. Many stories on that. But if I couldn't determine their clothing from this time era, that was definitely something that was able to help me understand that person actually is of this era and is currently alive. But for some reason, there was a whole section of my life where I guess it was motherhood, where we tend to focus on, our family, our career. We're so busy, 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 and I think that's what's really happened in the majority of human beings on the planet, especially women. Us women are really just under the pump. We are focused on so many things with scattered energy. Our energy is so scattered with the compiling need for us. And so that gives us this whole section of it where we've shut out our intuition, we've shut out our self, And so when we get to the other side of that, it's like all of a sudden you realize, and this comes down to that change, that shift that we are now seeing a lot in relationships, especially um, men and women for that matter, but those of us over the age of 45. And I can actually tell you that at 33 is the age where most spiritual people are awoken. That's the age where um, the development will really kick into place, and that's when they will start to deviate away from things that no longer serve their highest good and their purpose here. So yeah, it's been quite an interesting journey, and it's been something that um, I share with others so that people are aware that there's nothing to fear. I think that's the biggest part of our society is that it's all very fear-based. It's all controlling. It's all about scattered energy. So when you come back into yourself and you have that quiet time, I know for me personally, being alone was a big fear. I've had that fear all my life. That was something I had to really work on overcoming and trust and just understand that I'm whole and I'm okay on my own. And are we really alone? No, we're not. And so connecting with others that align with us is of highest importance. And just releasing and allowing things to fall away that aren't good for us. And I think that's really something positive that we can focus on rather than what's going on around the planet, because everything's got to come out there. It's all about truth. It's all about justice. It's all about balance. Another thing I can honestly say is that we've all had a big imbalancement of our energy. We've all been in very powerful masculine energy, whether you're in a male or female body. And it's because we've been in a long period of human timeline here of masculine ruling, and the problem with being in a one energy power, whether it's feminine or masculine, is it's an imbalance. So each entity, each soul on the planet needs to come into alignment and balance. We have both within us. So as soon as we understand that sometimes I need more masculine energy to be there, take action, to make things happen. And then sometimes I need to be in my nurturing feminine energy just to be and not have an expectation and not to feel overwhelmed. And just be in bliss and peace and balance within myself. So, it's okay to fluctuate. We can fluctuate 100 times in a day. And I think that's what, when we get into that understanding as a collective, then others join us, and it's a ripple effect, and it actually impacts how.
Thank you for sharing your story. I appreciate that. And for the listeners out there, uh, we all have a story, and it's okay to talk about our story. And the more that we grow as a collective, as one, as coming into ourselves, we also give ourselves permission to share. So thank you for sharing that. Tracey and I have been friends for a few years now, and I appreciate when I first met you, and I appreciate you even more now. And I can't wait to just do this series with you, and I just can't wait to open that box of worms or whatever conversations we get into, or if you have a channeled message for the people that are listening, or if we talk about who your team is that you're working with today. So for those, yeah, just a big thank you. And is there anything else that you'd love to share, Trace?
I have been guided to a specific oracle deck, and I've just shuffled and actually guided while I was talking, mind you, because I'm very tectonic, so I'm just tactile type of person, and I've been guided with 3 cards. So this is for the collective. Now, the first one that's come out is freedom, and I'm going to share this card. And then I'm going to give you the downloads with it.
Thank you, Tracey.
So freedom is energetic. Freedom is all about understanding that everything you're experiencing here is for the highest good of yourself, and to release anything that no longer serves you. And I'll tell you why. Moving forward in your life gets you onto a higher frequency and an ascension, yes, if we're using spiritual terms. But if you have dead weight holding you back and you have fear stopping you from taking those steps, it doesn't have to be leaps and bounds, it can be small, minor steps in a new direction. That freedom of constraint is your power. And it can be in any part of your life or all parts of your life. But the impact it has on you can be great or minor, but understand that the ripple effect has from you impacts on others. And there is not one person on this planet who's not connected to somebody else, whether they're here or not, whether that's with animals, whether that's with any living entity on this planet, or Mother Earth. In order for you to receive that sense of lightness, love, and purity in your life and your heart, it comes with taking the steps to understanding what freedom means to you. So you're being guided here to understand that the little steps count in setting the goals for today, and not so much in 10 years' time, but for today. What can you do to make a small change and impact on who you are and be able to release what you need to for you? That's the message coming through the whole. Next one is passion.
Ooh.
Now, the passion is the fire energy, and so this is Aries, Leo, Sag. The fire energy is also about spirit. So the connection with your spirit within you, your soul connection, is what you're being to here. Now, let me tell you, the right path for each and every single one of us on this planet is what ignites our passion. If it fires us in the chest, in the abdomen, you're not sure what chakras. It's your chakras being ignited. That is the sign you're in the wrong path. If you are no longer energized or feeling passionate towards what you're doing, you're on the wrong path. It's as plain and simple. We want black and white terms to understand. That's as simple as it is. If it ignites your passion, it's the right path. If it doesn't, it no longer serves you moving forward. So release it and move on. And the last card that's being shown here is the goddess energy. So this is about honoring divine feminine power and energy. And whilst most people viewing these podcasts are likely to be feminine or females, the feminine energy is within males as so, a lot of males actually are stronger in their feminine energy, where the imbalance comes in, because then as women tend to be in a connected relationship where we are in masculine energy and we feel balance. So it's really calling for us to be, again, nurturing ourselves, nurturing our planet, nurturing and guiding others, and speaking and feeling with intention of our pureness of our heart. And so once we make those steps within ourselves, we impact and share our light with others, the ripple effect is unstoppable. It's like a tsunami. So with the power of a tsunami comes the passion and the love and force of energy. And so when we focus on our energy and how we share that energy with others, that ripple effect becomes a tsunami to the entire planet. So let's make it a positive and loving one. Not just
I love that, Trace. I love that. And thank you so much for taking your time out today to talk to me and talk to the listeners. And before we finish, how can our listeners find you, connect with you, your work, and learn more about what you do?
okay, so you can look up Earth Angel Tracey on Google, anywhere. It'll take you to all my different socials. I'm in the process of creating an app as well. So um, I have my booking services and the websites, things like that. But it's more about, just connect with me on socials. If you see Tracy Leanne on Facebook, that's me. Got visual to what I look like, you will find me. Um, and I'm happy to, if you're guided to me, trust your intuition, because you'll keep getting bored of it for whatever reason. If you're meant to connect to me, you will. So, and those that aren't, don't. So it's very rare that anyone sort of comes through, but it's important that we, connect and network together. I'm a big believer in sharing our experiences, sharing our energy, and keeping everybody lifted and elevated to see beyond the veil, see beyond what is going on in our chaotic world, and to actually realize that things happen for us, not to us. And I think I'll leave that with you all.
Plus, what I'll do is I'll add in all the socials for Tracy down in the transcripts when this goes to air. Um, Thank you again. Love talking to you. And I can't wait to get you back onto the podcast and to talk about some other spicy, juicy topics at that time. How does that sound?
Would love that. Would love that. Do you want me to finish off with one card for male and female?
Go for it, please. Thank you.
Okay, let's go. Highest good of masculine energy. There we go. We got balance and wisdom for masculine energy. So this is straight away saying, like I was talking all the way through this, I'm getting the biggest message here is for all of us to be in as much balance as we possibly can. Don't overwork. Don't push yourself beyond being able to cope, because burnout is real, and burnout is the distinguishing of your light and your energy. And there are many forces on the planet that don't want us to succeed. So it's really about having the wisdom to say to yourself, enough's enough. I can't go beyond this anymore, and I need balance. I've just had a delivery. Just going to get it outside. I don't know if you can hear my dogs. Okay. Hold on. Just going to pause. I've had the bell go off, the mailman waving at me. I've got a delivery. So this is important information for you all. Okay. Come here. You're okay, my puppy dogs. It's okay. Yeah, he's gone now. All right.
That was gold.
This is my babies.
Oh my
Come to
gosh,
me. Come to me.
I can tell where this is going to
Come to
go
me.
now. I love this for the people out there. Thank you. We love this. I love you, Trace. I love you, Trace. Oh, yes. And who is she?
So then we've got Song of the Siren, okay? So this is the coming and the call. You're being called to take action today for yourself, even if it's baby steps. Do it. The last one is air.
Oh,
Breathe, breathe, and help others. Help others along their journey. Sorry for the interruption. Don't like Bellman in the doorbell. That is the alarming bell of the universe saying, now's time to take action for yourself. Now's time to be in balance and peace and harmony. Find it within yourself. And if you need some support and guidance, I have a group of holistic practitioners that are all willing to network with you. We're big on sharing modalities. We try to not focus on financial exchange. We exchange through energy and services. And it's basically a barter system of I'm strong in this area and I would like help in that area. So that's how I prefer to work with people where possible. And those that wish to just pay for a service, it's all good. Whatever, money is unfortunately part of our society, and I'm finally ready and open to receiving. So I'll leave you all with that. And thank you so much for your time, Michelle. And thank you all for taking the time to view and connect with us today.
Pleasure.
I'm Earth Angel Tracey.
Pleasure. And we'll see each other soon. And for those for the listeners, thank you. And don't forget to press the subscribe button. And who else is coming up on the next podcast? Anyway, my loves, much love, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, it stopped. How did you